Today I'm going to repair a flat tire on my Himiway E-Bike. I bought a very inexpensive stand to hold the e-bike up with, and actually this is my very first attempt at actually changing a bike tire, so should be very interesting. I've got it mounted on the stand, which is right at the maximum weight level for this particular bike. Let's just take a little look at the damage that we've got here. I've marked the piece of cactus or whatever that is in there. You can see my little line, but that thing is about 2.5 inches long, so I'll have to take that out, and then we'll have to remove the part of the tire from the rim and get it changed. Well, the first thing I think I'm going to do is remove this nasty thing. Look at that thing. It is really sharp as well. Most of the air is already leaked out. I don't really feel any air coming out of it right now. And then we're going to have to get some tools to get the tire off the rim. Because this is the first tire that I've had that I've attempted to repair, I picked up this tool set on Amazon for maybe, I think it's like 15 bucks. And that's what we're going to use to get the tire off of the rim. I'm going to leave the tire on the actual whole tire right on the bike, see if we can get away with doing that. I think this little device here is used to hook onto the rim so that you don't scratch it when you use those tire irons. So we'll see about getting that thing snapped into place. A little easier said than done. All right, that one's in place. I'm going to start, maybe I'll screw this thing up a little bit, and then we'll start using the tire irons to take that thing off. All right, let's place this thing inside the tire, and let's make sure that we don't pinch the tube. That would be bad. So we're going to put that thing on here. And we're going to need a couple more of those little plastic things. So actually we're going to get these other things on here real quick. Not really sure how far apart I should space them, but we'll see. And there's another one. Roll the tire down a little bit. And we'll put on this third one. I could be doing this all wrong, but we're going to give this a whirl and see what happens. All right, back to this first one. See if we can get that thing over that. I think I'll just leave that there for right now. I wasn't really sure what those strings are going to be for on this, but I think it's so when you drop the whole thing in. You know, I think I might just leave that like that, because I should be able to get at the tube at this point. Let's move back to what I've got. This is where it was marked. And let's see if we can see where the hole is on this tube. I think I'm gonna need a light. Okay, I've got a little bit more light in here now, and we can kind of see that it's kind of difficult, but it really lines up well. This looks like where the hole is, and it does line up pretty well with where our mark is. It is very small. I do have a magnifying glass that I can look at, and if I pull it a little bit, I can actually see where there's a hole there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is the spot right here. So that's where we're going to apply our patch. The next step is to figure out what size patch we want to put on, which I think I'm just going to go with something like that. And then we need to lightly sand that area down according to the instructions. I did mark the area with marking pen. Okay. Next, we need to apply some glue bigger than the patch. So let's just do that. Probably not really a great idea to use your finger, but then we need to let it dry for about a minute. Next, we peel the back off of this thing. And we place it on our glue. And we firmly push that in place. And we'll let it cure for a minute. Feels good, so let's push our tube back in. And then we're going to see about getting the tire back on the rim. So let's start pushing the tire back onto the rim. Make sure our stem is up. We're getting pretty close to getting this all pushed back in place. Push this part in. And that's it. Pops back in really easy. And then let's make sure that we have all three of these things. There isn't one left inside there. Now that it's on there, we can add air to our tire and see how well it works out. So the maximum pressure is 30 pounds, so we will do that. We'll just spin the tire around here real quick and make sure that everything is seated nice and neat and there's no tube on either side. I've looked on both sides. This part of the tube is not in. That is a problem. So I'm going to have to let the air out and make sure that that gets pushed back in. Okay, we've done that. Back to pushing more air in. Let's just make sure everything is seated nice and neat again. Nope, now the other side's out, so I've got to make sure that that goes back in place. All right, we're going to do this a little slower this time. We're going to put a little air in. Make sure it's all seated. And we'll put a little bit more in. Okay, I think we've got it. We'll make sure that this holds air before we go for any riding at this point, but it looks like it's nicely sealed, and we'll hopefully have a bike to ride again tomorrow.